LeBron James has to eat his favorite food, crow, once again. As usual, he blames someone else. This time it looks like the twin sister of Stephen A. Smith. Welcome to Game on Brain, sponsored by OnlineCashShop.com. If you got game on your brain, why not get paid for it? Sports is a multi-billion-dollar business, and there's plenty of money to go around for everyone, not just the players. Whether you're a fanatic, a fan, or simply an occasional viewer, corporations want to know what you think to keep their finger on the pulse of the marketplace. And they're willing to pay for that privilege. So if you're not shy about sharing your opinion on sports and other topics, visit GameandBrain.com/opinions and grab your piece of the pie. Look, I don't want to be that guy who's always yelling about sports, all right? But Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on with LeBron James these days? I swear to God, this guy's ego has its own zip code. I mean, we're talking about a 6 feet 8 inches, 250-pound physical specimen. Basically a Greek god with Nike endorsements, getting all bent out of shape because Stephen A. Smith said some not-so-nice things about his son. Are you kidding me? Let me set the scene for you. It's Thursday night, Lakers versus Knicks game. The Lakers are on a hot streak, best they've been since that bubble championship in 2020. Everything's going their way. You'd think LeBron would be focused on the game, right? Wrong. This drama queen actually leaves his team huddle in the middle of a game to go confront Stephen A. Smith about comments he made months ago about Bronny. What kind of psychopath does that? Hey guys, I know we're in a crucial moment here, trying to win this basketball game that millions of people are watching, but hold that thought. I gotta go intimidate a 57-year-old sports commentator real quick. It's insane. Now listen, I understand being protective of your kid. I get it. I'm a dad too. But there's a line, people. And approaching a 57-year-old, 6 feet 1 inch, 170-pound talking head who poses zero physical threat to you just so you can flex your muscles? That's not being a protective father. That's being a bully. And let's talk about the timing for a second. Why now? These comments were made back in January. But LeBron waits until his team is winning, until he's feeling good about himself, to go pick this fight. Classic front-runner behavior. He only confronts people when he feels like he has the upper hand, when he's on top, when he's winning. Remember when Isaiah Stewart tried to get at LeBron after LeBron elbowed him in the face? Oh, suddenly King James wanted no part of that smoke. He was backpedaling faster than a cornerback at the NFL Combine. Hold me back. Yeah, real tough guy there. But the real hypocrisy, and this is the part that kills me, is that this is the same guy who once yelled at his own mother to sit your ass down during a game when she tried to defend him during a skirmish. As Aries Spears pointed out, and he nailed it, LeBron basically told his mom, "I don't need you to save me. I'm a professional basketball player in a professional sport." Well, guess what, LeBron? Your son is now a professional basketball player in a professional sport. And Stephen A. Smith is a professional commentator doing his professional job. You can't have it both ways. The same rules apply. You can't tell your mom to stay out of your business and then turn around and insert yourself into your son's business. IT doesn't work that way. And let's be honest about this Bronny James experiment, because that's exactly what it is, an experiment, and not a particularly successful one. I'm not trying to rag on the kid, but facts are facts. He's averaging, 13 points a game in the G League on 36% shooting, 21% from three. These aren't numbers that scream NBA ready. Most guys putting up those stats wouldn't even get a look from NBA scouts, let alone a guaranteed contract. But LeBron hyped this kid up to kingdom come. He straight up said his son was better than half the players in the NBA. Are you out of your mind? This is supposed to be the most skilled generation of basketball players of all time. And you're telling me your son, who can barely crack double digits in the G League, is better than half of them? That's not just setting your kid up for failure. That's throwing him off a cliff with a parachute made out of expectations that are impossible to meet. And then you get mad when people point out that reality doesn't match the hype. Come on. The worst part is nobody was even talking about Bronny anymore. The conversation had moved on. But LeBron, with his elephant memory for perceived slights, just couldn't let it go. He had to make it a thing again. He had to remind everybody that his son is struggling, that the experiment isn't working, that the emperor has no clothes. Why would you do that? And how about the way Stephen A. responded? This guy, who built his entire career on being loud and confrontational, suddenly turns into a church mouse. Oh, he approached me as a father, not as a basketball player. What difference does that make? You're still getting bullied. Stand your ground. But no, he tucked his tail between his legs and ran for the hills. You know why? Because nobody in the media wants to get on LeBron's bad side. He's too powerful, too influential. If he stops talking to you, your career takes a hit. Just ask Rachel Nichols. She dared to suggest that Bronny might end up being, at best, a really good role player in the NBA. A reasonable, measured take that was probably generous, if we're being honest. And what happened? LeBron stopped talking to her, cut her off completely, because his ego couldn't handle the truth. This is the same guy who criticizes his fellow players for shooting too many threes and then goes out the next game and fires up a dozen of them himself. The same guy who wants to be the ambassador of the league, but routinely disrespects his peers. The same guy who can never, ever admit when he's wrong. And let's not forget the Cal Sut situation. This guy basically accused LeBron of using performance-enhancing drugs, called him a steroid cheat to his face. That's a direct attack on the legitimacy of his entire career. But did LeBron confront him? Did he seek him out to defend his honor? No, because Cal Sut might actually swing back. He might actually challenge LeBron. And God forbid LeBron has to face someone who won't back down. The truth is, LeBron is a moral coward. He's big and bad when it comes to intimidating smaller, older, non-threatening sports commentators. But when it comes to people who might actually give him a fight, suddenly he's nowhere to be found. Look, I respect LeBron's game. The man is one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. His longevity is unreal. His skill set is otherworldly. But as a person, as a role model, as a father, he's showing all the wrong lessons. You don't protect your kid by fighting their battles for them. You don't help your son grow by hyping him up to the point where he can never meet the expectations. You don't show leadership by abandoning your team to settle personal vendettas. And you sure as hell don't demonstrate character by only picking fights you know you can win. The worst part of all this is that the Lakers are actually good right now. They're playing great basketball. This should be a time of celebration, of focus, of coming together as a team to make a playoff push. Instead, it's become another episode in the never-ending LeBron James drama series. And that's the real problem with LeBron James. It's always about him, always about his ego, always about his grievances, always about his legacy, even when it should be about the team, about winning, about the game itself. Somehow, someway, LeBron finds a way to make it about LeBron. Here's some free advice. King James, sit your ass down. The same advice you gave your mother all those years ago. Sit down, shut up, and let your son figure out for himself. Let the commentators do their jobs. Let the game be about the game. Because the way you're handling this, the bullying, the hypocrisy, the front-running, the inability to take an L, it's embarrassing. Not just for you, but for the league, for the sport, for the fans who want to believe that their heroes have some semblance of self-awareness. You're LeBron James, for Christ's sake, one of the greatest to ever do it. Act like it. Stop getting into petty feuds with talking heads. Stop trying to control the narrative. Stop trying to intimidate people who say things you don't like. Just play basketball. That's what you're good at. That's what people want to see. And if you can't do that, if your ego is so fragile that you can't handle a little criticism of your adult son who's a professional athlete, then maybe it's time to hang him up. Because this behavior, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it all. And don't even get me started on Stephen A.'s hairline. What the hell is that thing on the back of his head? It looks like he spray-painted a basketball and glued it to his skull. Between LeBron's receding hairline that magically grows back every offseason and Stephen A.'s whatever the hell that is, we've got enough hair mysteries in the NBA to keep Scooby-Doo busy for a decade. But I digress. The point is this: LeBron James is a hypocrite, a bully, a front-runner, and it's time somebody called him out on it. Even if that somebody has to be a faceless YouTuber screaming in the void. Just my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. I'm gonna go have a beer now.
Thanks for keeping game on your brain. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification